What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of FMF Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
We back,
My
baby.
boys with me again. Said we would be right back at another good topic. But first, if y'all know who you are, I'm Giovanni.
Yo, I'm Paul.
I'm Trayvon.
Hey, FMF, every day, all day. So
Yes, sir.
today we got another topic for you today. Today's topic is going to be in 2021 with your money. Should you invest it or you should be able to save it? Now, I have this question that's been coming up with me because I'm stepping into the entrepreneur world, and I've always been a 9-to-5 guy, which I love, of course, but I'm dipping into this entrepreneur stage, and I'm getting some extra money, so I'm going in between 401ks, stocks. They got the Forex coming up, Bitcoin, and I'm trying to figure out sometimes what should I do with my money. So I got some saved, but I don't know if I should save that much or save that little. Then I'm starting to learn a little bit about the Bitcoin and the Forex. I don't know if I should play around in that pond. And of course, I talked to my dad. He got the old school way, of course. There's the 401ks, the IRA, all those, different types. Yeah, different types. So my mind is everywhere when it comes to this money. So sometimes I be like, oh, should I invest or should I save? So, hey, I just want to throw this topic out. And of course, we got Mr. Finance over here. He may be able to give us some tips, man. So what do you think, should you start investing or all of it? Should you save some of it? Should it be 25% there, 50%? What are your takes on it? Of course, your opinion on it.
So I see my boy Trey got the pen and pad ready.
Yeah,
he over
yeah.
there ready to take notes.
We all learning.
But everybody's situation is a little bit different.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I feel like everybody definitely needs to save. Everybody definitely needs to invest. What I usually tell people is you want to have about 6 months of your expenses saved up, you know what I'm saying, for a rainy day. And this is the reason why I tell people that it needs to be in some type of savings account, money market, something that you could go in, get it out real quick and not have to worry about any type of tax consequences. So I know some people, they like to invest all their money, which, hey, I'm not mad at you about that, but if you ever got you got an emergency or something where you need to get money out.
Rainy day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you got all your money invested and you taking out your investment, people don't understand if you made gains on that money, you gotta pay taxes on that money.
Penalties.
It's tax. Yeah, it's called capital gains tax on some of your investments. So that's the thing people gotta be aware of if you start investing your money and you don't have a savings that's set aside. So I always try to let people know about that as well, that, yeah, you definitely need to invest and you want to invest as much money as possible. But for those rainy days, you don't want to try to take out those things because you could possibly have those capital gains tax penalties. And then the other thing with the capital gains tax, just to break it down a little bit further.
Yeah, because teach me on that.
Yeah, so basically capital gains tax is when you invest money and it appreciates or you make money off of it. So as you start making money off of it, you get taxed, but you only get taxed on the portion that you make the money off of. So let's say you put $100 in,
Okay.
and it go up to $200, and you take that $200 out. You only get taxed on that $100 that it went up. So that's where that capital gains tax come from. But it's two things with the capital gains tax. You got what we call short-term capital gains, and you got long-term capital gains. Short-term is anything under a year. So if you invested that $100 and it went up to $200, you took that $200 out in under a year. What happens is you get taxed at a higher rate.
That's like a penalty. They give you penalty on your own money?
Yo, and the government gonna get theirs.
They're gonna get there.
The government gonna get
try
theirs.
to take everything. It don't matter. I thought it was a good upside.
Yeah, the government gonna get theirs. So with the short term, you get taxed at a higher rate. I'll just to give like an example, and also too, let me make a disclosure. Anything we talk about in this podcast, make sure you do your own research. This is not financial advice. Make sure you talk to your licensed investment advisor, your licensed professional. But these are just good generalities and not specific investment advice. Got to make that clear because people get sued.
Exactly. You're right. This is just a point of view.
People get sued. So, this is not financial advice. This is just educational purposes. Make sure you do your research. But when you got the short term, you could be taxed. Like I think it's somewhere like around 20 to 30% for your short term.
Real estate, I know it's 33.
Yeah, with short term, and it's similar to like real estate.
Yeah,
and your money, that's a lot. That's a lot.
And so that's why
you don't be flipping and stuff no more. Because when you flip, that's a quick profit. So and so.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So that capital gains tax is 34%.
Yeah, bro.
I mean,
they eat that money.
If you make $100,000, you gotta get it at 34.
34,000.
That's a lot of money.
Oh, jump, yes, man. And it's the same thing with investments. But that's why when you invest, you want to invest for the long term. With long term, because after you get by that year, it go down dramatically. I think it's somewhere in the teens, like 14, 16%. Somewhere around there. So you paying way less in taxes. So that's why when you invest, you should be planning to invest for the long term. Now it's people making a killing from investing in what we call day trading.
Which is
you know what I'm saying? Like
I'm starting to learn a little bit on it, man. Y'all should do y'all research, man. Don't be skeptical of all things. I'm starting to learn, man.
That's real. Forex, day trading, all that type of stuff, man. It's not like people not making money off of it, but you just gotta know what you're doing. I'm not an expert in those things, so I don't know the inner workings of like how that stuff work. But I do know people are making money off of it, and from what my knowledge is, you gotta make sure you got your money set aside for taxes. As long as you got that set aside, you good.
That's not like with any entrepreneurship because it's like you're not working for that company. They can't take it out with that W-2. Right. So people make a lot of money, then they get hit later on because you think IRS ain't looking or they looking. They watching bank accounts, they watching everything, man, cash apps. No, man, people think
that's true.
Yeah, man.
And the other thing too, don't try to lie because all these platforms, they got your social, they got your driver's license information. The IRS will find out.
They will. What I'm saying? You can't hide it. No.
They will find out.
That's indictment coming into play.
Exactly.
Bro. And they're going to go back and they're going to charge you penalties.
Oh, man.
If you try to avoid it as well. So you're going to be paying even more in taxes. Dang. So you just got to be careful of that. But to get back to the point, of like the capital gains, it does, like I said, it is a good to invest, but you just got to be aware of that. So like I said, I like to tell people put money into like your savings or what we call like a money market account, which is pretty much a savings account that give you a better rate of return than what most of the banks' regular savings accounts give you. And there's no tax penalties for taking money out of it. It works just like a savings account.
Yeah.
It just, you getting a higher rate of return for your money, but don't expect nothing crazy like 6%. You might get like 1% or something like that. But it's better than 0.01% with a savings account.
Okay.
So that's a good spot just to hold your emergency savings in, just to get at least a little bit of money, but that you don't have to worry about tax penalties for taking out. So like back to that question, is it which one is more important or which one is better? For me, it's investing.
Yeah.
Investing always?
Yeah, it's investing, man.
Okay.
Like once you got a good comfortable amount saved up, everything else need to be going towards investing. Because with investing, man, it's the opportunity. I like to put it like this. We work 9 to 5, you know what I'm saying? Right. We work anywhere 8 to 12, 14 hours a day to make money. But what are we doing to have money, make money for us? You know what I'm saying?
Money while you're sleeping.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's where the investing comes in. So you work all day and night to make the money, have your money start working for you while you're sleeping. And that's what investing gives you that opportunity to do. If you put your money in a savings account, you get 0.01%. So for every $100, they give you a penny. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you expect your money to grow?
I didn't even know that until I got older. Why my parents, of course, they always say, get your savings account and make sure you put all in there. And I'm like, yo,
because they didn't have the financial education. They didn't have the resources. Yeah. Yo, everybody out there, you got Google. You know what I'm saying? You got Google. You can Google everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got We got libraries where you can get books. It's education is right there at our fingertips. So you can't keep lying. People can't keep lying to us and saying, "Yo, put your money in the savings account, and you'll be good. Just keep saving in the savings account." First off, we in different times now.
Right.
Yeah.
Back then, parents, you spoke on like 401k and things like that.
That was the only thing I knew.
It was it wasn't that they had pensions.
Yeah.
So pensions, it was guaranteed for a while. Now with us, 401ks is what you contribute into it. So if you ain't contributing into it, it don't do you no good.
Yeah.
Which I highly suggest. That's another form of investing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's another form of investing, man. If you got a 401k at your job and they match a certain amount.
I used to do it all the time.
Yo.
At Walmart.
At minimum, bruh. At minimum, you should be putting in what they matching. And the reason why is because it's free money. They give you free money. And so if you put $50 in, they pretty much saying, all right, we'll match your 50 with another 50 to help you invest. So it's free money that you use, first off, especially if you love the company, you believe in it. That's how you could possibly support the company as well. But it's also a great investment tool just to get started with and just to really start building, man.
It's just like a starter investment when you starting out when you get your first job or something like that. Well, a good job. You can go ahead and pop into that 401k.
And I always tell people, when I sit down and they talk about investing, first thing is, do your job got 401k?
Smart, because you're already there.
You know what I'm saying? Before you start talking about anything else, especially if your money is tight, invest in your 401k. Let that build up. So that's good.
The plus side about that too is they can take it out your check, so you never realize
exactly.
it's missing.
Exactly.
When it comes to investing and spending is two different things. But you're still gonna be looking at the extraction. You're looking at the takeaway. So it's like, all right, if I have to spend $50 every paycheck, then it's gonna be like, I could be doing something else. You know what I'm saying? But if they just take it out, then you're not even gonna be paying. Most people don't read their pay stub. They just all right, this the chunk, this what I made, this what I know I'm gonna be making.
I don't.
You know what I mean?
I'm thinking about it. I don't really look at that. I'm on autopilot. Like we told last time, I'm on autopilot. I already know I got the paycheck on the coming.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's the beautiful part what Trey said. It take out the thinking for you. Yeah. You just said it, you'd be like, 6%. And if you can invest more, that's even better. Just to give a little basics, since we talking about investing, 401ks and things like that, you got two types of what you call it? You got two types of 401k or investment vehicles in the 401k. So you got possibly a traditional or you got Roth IRA. So you got two different types.
That's what I'm learning.
Yeah, so you since you learned about it, you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, because I'm trying to learn.
Yeah,
I know it's the Roth. No, I'm asking you, shoot, because I'm still in the Google stage. I'm learning about it because, of course, I won't taught a lot about parents about something. All I knew was with the 401k. Now I'm trying to learn about the Roth and all that.
Yeah,
I'm slow to the game. I'm gonna get it.
No, it's good because so basically you got the two types. You got the Roth, and then you got your traditional.
Okay.
So with the traditional, basically the purpose of a traditional is to lower your taxable income.
Right.
So basically, what traditional is, when you invest in traditional, that money comes out before taxes come out. So what a lot of the people that invest in the traditional IRAs is people that got a lot of money and they want to reduce how much in taxes they pay. So what happens is with the traditional, they'll say, hey, I want X amount taken out. So now that amount comes out and then the taxes come out. So what happens is as it grows, it continues to grow, but the downside with the traditional is once you start taking from it at retirement age, so anything after 59 and a half, you after you start taking out of it, taxes get taken out of it. So let's say you start taking out of it and you're supposed to get $1,000, the government might take $200 of that out and then you only get $800 a month.
Yeah.
So the taxes come out when it's time to enact on the funds or when you decide to retire. What the Roth is, it come out after taxes. So your taxes come out and then the amount that you want to invest in the Roth comes out. And so now, but the good thing about the Roth is when you get to retirement age, you start, it doesn't take any taxes out. So if you're supposed to get $1,000, you get $1,000.
That's what I'm leaning towards that.
Yeah. So I went to a seminar one time, and I don't know if this is completely accurate or if I'm going to explain it the right way, but I heard that with the Roth, you can feed that more. It's more of a limit. It's limited on what you could do with the traditional. But as far as like investment wise, you can feed that more. Like it's unlimited. Like a lot of people use the strategy in real estate for wholesaling. Like they got the flipping, and then they got what they're buying wholes, their rentals, and their portfolio, all of that stuff.
Yeah,
that's separate. But as far as the Roth IRA, what they would do is they can feed that with their wholesaling, their fast money, and they could keep on putting all of that there, and then they could use that for, let's say, their children, and stuff like that. It's something, somehow they would link their children to the account, and now they, you know what I'm saying?
Beneficiary.
They could do. They was doing a lot more freedom with the Roth.
From what I know, it's supposed to be a limit on both of them. That's what
it's always a limit.
Yeah, because people you ODing on that Roth, but exactly. I know with Roth, if you make over a certain amount, you can't contribute to it. Like I know that. As far as what I know too with the Roth, I think it is a certain limit that you can add to it. I want to say, like I said, y'all make sure y'all do your own research and everything. Yeah. But I want to say it's about like in Virginia, because it could be different in different states. But I think it's like 5,000, 5,600, somewhere around there that you could contribute to your IRA and investment vehicle. Because what would happen is, if it wasn't no limit, man, people would be just dumping money up in there.
It was a loophole.
It could be.
It was a loophole because it was like, it ain't like exactly what they're contributing, but it say they link their business with it. So whatever their business was making on the, like, all right, so they put their wholesaling side of the business towards it. So that is going to there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's being funded and funneling there, and they was using it. Like I said, like it's been a while since I went to the seminar.
Yeah.
I got to go back to my notes. I wrote hella notes on it. Yeah. So I was like, "This is the smartest shit I'm gonna use that." But they was basically they found the loophole to be able to use the Roth, self-directed Roth IRA, let the funds come into it to contribute to it, versus them actually like, I'm gonna put this money in. Yeah, like it was automatic.
Like the proceeds from like a sale or something like that.
Smart.
It may be, but as far as what I know, I from what I've been studying and everything, I think it is a limit that you could contribute every year to both of those products. But we might. I got to double check on that one, y'all. That's a good question. Like I'm not sure about that one. But with the like I said, with the Roth though, once it's time for retirement, after you get past 59 and a half, you don't have to pay taxes on it. So that's the beautiful part about that. The other thing with the traditional too is with the Roth also, you could also choose not to enact on it and pass it down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. With traditional, after I think it's 70, they actually start taxing you for not taking the money.
And from 59 to 70?
Yeah, once you hit about 70 or 70 and a half, they got weird numbers. But after 70, if you haven't started like taking out from your IRA, a traditional IRA, they start penalizing you for it.
For my own money?
The reason why is you never got taxed on it.
Oh yeah,
you never got taxed on it.
Has to be a downside to something.
You know what I'm saying?
So my money, man.
They want to get their money.
Yeah.
So after about 70 or 70 and a half, if you ain't start taking out that money, they started taxing you on the percentage of how much your monthly is supposed to be. They start taxing you on that. So
learning here, man.
Yeah, so
learning out here.
Yeah, it's big, man. But that's just to break down the two, types of IRAs, and usually those are embedded in the 401ks as well. So y'all make sure y'all sit down with like your HR specialist at your job, and sit down and talk to them and figure out a strategy of like how you want to divide everything up. Because like I said, it's really catered towards what your thought process is, what you want, and also like how much money you making. All of that stuff need to be factored in. So it's good to sit down with like a licensed professional to really look into your situation and get the results that you're looking for. But that 401k is big. That should be the first thing, your first investment if your job offers it.
Okay.
If that should be the first investment, man.
I know a guy who, when I first like actually paying attention to, because I heard a lot about 401k. I ain't gonna lie, and especially being young, I was just like absent-minded about it. Like it was
Who cares? I want my money.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
I was the same way.
It was a brother of mine. We resemble each other in a lot of ways. We resonate. So when he spoke about it, he was like, his last job that he was at, they had I think they had like a company layoff. He was there for a good little amount of years. They had like a company layoff, and he invested in the 401k. He said he was able to leave that job with $27,000.
Oh.
Because and it was like automatic, like he wasn't thinking about it. Like after it was set up, that was all the thinking, and then he was able to leave that job with like $27,000. And I met him at the job that I currently work at. I didn't pay attention to the 401k until he paid it. He brought it up and told me about that. I've been there longer than him, years longer than him, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm already at like 6,000." And I'm like.
Like, should get on that jump.
Like I'm missing money, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was like, and now he say he don't contribute nothing but like $25.
Oh, that ain't no money.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, we've been working alongside each other, and I work more than him. Like he had another job. Like that's my primary job. So I work more than him, and it could accumulate a lot more.
Yeah.
I'm like, I could be at like 20 right now.
That's crazy.
No, that's like, all right, yeah. 401, go ahead, get it in.
Yeah, you gotta
set that up.
More millionaires are made from their 401k than probably anything else, man. I'm telling you, more millionaires are made from their 401k than anything else. You know how to you get your plan and you work the plan. And now that I think about it, bro, Trey, you right. With the Roth and everything, it's not no limit. Because I just thought about it. It's not no limit. It's not no limit, bro. I just thought about it. Like when I was sitting here thinking, I'm thinking about something else, y'all. I'm thinking about something else. No, it's not. It's not a limit on it. Ooh. So that is probably true. How they funnel for their retirement, take the proceeds and put it in the Roth, let it build up, and invest in it properly. Yo, it's probably right, but
get me excited.
But but with that 401k though, but like what I said too is if you make a certain amount of money. I think it's annually, you're not able to invest in a Roth anymore. So then you got to try to funnel that into like a traditional, and then they come to get their money. Right. You know what I'm saying? After about 7.
Somehow they like,
exactly.
So you can put your plan. When they get extra money, you can start to learn about the Bitcoin, start doing that, or start doing other investments like saving. Well, you can tap a lot on the saving. It seems like it's all basically an answer question. It's all about investing.
I told you the first thing I said, man, make sure you got your emergency fund.
Right.
Like that's the most important thing, man.
Okay.
Like, because people go rushing into investing and then something happen.
And they only ask.
And they on their ass. They gotta dig into their investment now. And now you gotta pay taxes on that money that you already just used up for an emergency.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? So now
that makes
it's really
sense.
putting you in the hole. So that's why I say the first thing, man, invest in your 401k at your job. Then you focus on building up your emergency savings. And then after that, everything outside of that, my belief is, invest it, man. Let the money grow.
Stop buying sneakers and invest. How about that?
Hey, look, man.
Hey,
shots fired.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. We got better shoes, better than our portfolio when it comes to building on wealth, man.
Yeah, man.
But I was a victim of that. I'm playing, but we all have a past. I was there too, man. Had freshest shirts, clothes, all the stuff that didn't even matter. I was buying rims for what? Now you
the system.
the system. To go back, and I was thinking about that, man. But it's normal. Like a lot of dudes go through that. That's just how we are, man. We and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's time to learn. It's always time to learn, and sometimes you play around and do your thing. I mean, you gotta get out your system before, man. I remember them days.
You gotta enjoy life, man.
Enjoy life. Things happen, man. Yeah.
And that's the thing, man. Learn how to budget. Learn how to budget your money. So you got your bills. you got what you gonna invest and things like that. But you can also have your little play money too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Ain't wrong with that.
You got your little play money. You know, take your lady out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, once in a while.
Ladies, get your shoes or your purse or whatever.
Yeah.
But you gotta have your main focus,
Right.
which is creating wealth.
Exactly.
You know, building, generational wealth if that's what you want to do. Making sure you put yourself in a better financial space. So that's why I really believe, like I said, 401k, then you savings, then you invest everything else. And I know we touched a lot on the 401k because that is the most basic and the easiest one for people to get into
investment.
And I feel like that's the one you really should focus on first. And then outside of that, then as you gain your knowledge or you sit down with like a licensed professional and you learn, more about like the stock markets, mutual funds, ETFs, and we'll get into all that stuff, on another time.
Yeah, because we ain't gonna talk your head off.
Yeah,
exactly. We're gonna give our opinions on this, man.
Yeah,
That's good.
but it's a lot of stuff out there. Dividend paying stocks. People don't understand. You can invest in a company and they pay you every month, every 3 months, or semi-annually or annually. They start paying you. You got bonds you can invest in. They pay you semi-annually. Right. There's so much stuff out here that you can invest in that like it is kind of overwhelming. So I highly suggest, first off, man, you do your research yourself.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, man, you get with these licensed professionals and they just going to tell you something so they can make a profit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They just going to tell you something like, do this, because they benefit from it and it might not benefit you as well. Yeah. So at least have a general knowledge. So when somebody tell you something, you be like, hold on, like that don't seem right.
Yeah.
That don't sound right.
That ain't for me.
Yeah. So,
you know what I mean? And be willing to take the risk. Investment is a risk, but be willing to take the risk. You gotta, think about where you're headed, what you're doing. Like, if you stay in that comfort zone, which we talked about, you stay in that comfort zone, then it's awesome, but it's never nothing that's going to grow there. You got to step outside of your comfort zone. You got to be willing to take the risk. Nothing big was ever made playing it safe. You know what I mean?
Right.
Also, it's not easy. This is my input on this topic. It is not easy to save. That was my experience because money, I learned, the more financial literacy I gained, the more that I learned that money is kinetic. Money does not like to sit still. It has to go somewhere. So what I want to say is save with a purpose. Because so many of us have had this experience where it's like, I'm saving, cool. And then an emergency happened. For me, it's always the car. Always the car. Always.
Your money be right, and all of a sudden, like, come on, man.
I'm 1,000 up. Like, I'm creeping up 1,200. I could do something. You know what I'm saying? That too. It's like once you do start saving some money, then you look at it like, damn, I got money. No, you gotta separate that. Like, keep that separate because then you start looking at it as, joined funds. Like it ain't that I have 600 in my checking. It's like I have 2,000 total. Yeah. No, you have 600. That savings is separate. You know what I mean? So when it comes to the savings side, you have to separate it, and you have to have a purpose for it. Because
those great tips.
Because if I just save, that money is going to go to something somewhere. If you save for a rainy day will come. But when I started saving for investment purposes, when I started saving for specific things, then those specific things started to come. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like so now I save for the car. I can get the car because I saved for it. You know what I'm saying? If I save for investment purposes, I'm looking at this number. Then when I get, I know for a fact when I can reach this number, I can get to this number, and then I can invest that and keep going, or something of that sort. If I'm saving for monthly expenses, then I see it like it gradually increases, and I get excited from my savings. I might take my budget, which I'm not the best at. We're gonna need some work. Yeah, you know what I mean. But I'll take the budget and my play money. I'll be excited to see my savings start to increase So when I play money, I can put half of that towards the savings. That's a quicker,
Right.
like it's quicker to